Welcome, everyone. I'm Dr. Carolin Klein, Programs Officer for STAR, and welcome to STARburst, a new initiative for STAR where every month we feature a different STAR member sharing research they've been involved with or their clinical wisdom. It's an opportunity for us to know the professional contributions of our members, to stay up to date on research and clinical practice, and to get to know one another so that we can facilitate professional connections. Today, I am thrilled to welcome Dr. Marie-Michèle Paquette. Dr. Paquette has been a STAR member for over 3 years, but has actually been attending STAR conferences for 6 years. And she recently completed her PhD in clinical psychology from the University of Montreal, working under the supervision of well-known STAR member Dr. Sophie Bergeron. Dr. Paquette, I'm thrilled that you are joining us today.
Hi, well, thank you for the invitation. I'm very happy to be here.
I'm wondering if you can tell us, you just recently completed your PhD, literally just a few months ago. Tell us, where are you now and what is the professional work you are doing?
Mhm. Well, so I am currently doing a postdoctoral fellowship at the University of British Columbia under the supervision of Dr. Sam Dawson. I'm also a licensed psychologist, so I've been also working to get my license here in BC to start working with couples soon, very soon. But as for my research, my main interest always has been to better understand factors associated with heterosexual cisgender and 2L LGBTQA adolescent and adult sexual well-being. And my postdoctoral research will extend my doctoral work through investigating a positive relationship process, savoring, for sexual well-being among couples. My research interests really serve the goal of providing a more nuanced understanding of adolescent and adult sexuality in order to promote sexual well-being and to inform sexual education programs so that they might be more inclusive.
Wonderful. And welcome to Vancouver, since I'm here in Vancouver as well. You recently published a really impressive paper, your first author on a paper. I'm going to try and hold it up for people to see, with 70 authors on this paper, many of whom are STAR members. It's not very often that we see in the social sciences 70 authors on a paper spanning the entire globe. The paper is entitled Sexual Satisfaction Across Cultures, Genders, Languages, and Sexual Orientations, Validation of the Global Measure of Sexual Satisfaction. Can you tell, for those of us who may not know, what the global measure of sexual satisfaction is and what your research was about?
Mhm. Well, first of all, this paper is part of a larger validation project, the International Sex Survey, a large-scale cross-cultural study that promotes gender, sexual, and cultural diversity. So the first step of the study was really to validate all of the measures used in the survey, to investigate the psychometric properties and assess whether the scale functioned the same way across like language, country, gender, and sexual orientation-based group. So regarding the GM6, so the global measure of sexual satisfaction, bearing in mind that sexual satisfaction is a core component of sexual well-being, which is common to most human beings, it was really essential to have a psychometrically validated measure across culturally diverse sample and among sexual and gender diverse individual. The GM6 is a very well validated and widely used measure of of sexual satisfaction. It was initially developed to assess individual global evaluation of their sexual life and consists of very just 5 items that use a semantic approach. So, for example, it goes from very bad to very good. And what we found is that among a sample of more than 50,000 couple participants from 42 different countries, the results were really in accordance with the previous validation of the GM6 that shows strong psychometric properties, including factor structure, reliability, validity, and measurement and variance across several indicators. But the most important part is that it showed that the GM6 captured the concept of sexual satisfaction consistently across diverse population based on 28 countries of residence, 19 language, 3 categories of gender, identity, and 5 sexual orientation. This had never been done before and means that we can now use the scale confidently to measure sexual satisfaction in many group of people from different culture, gender, and sexual orientation.
It really is incredible. I don't know if we're going to have time for it today, but I'll ask it anyway. How did it come about to have so many people involved in this? It's an amazing project to ensure that there is this validation across countries, genders, sexual orientations. How did this come about?
It all came when Dr. Beata Berthet was doing her postdoc under Dr. Sophie Bergeron, and she always wanted to do this large study across the world. And so she decided to, on her free time, to reach out to as many collaborators as from all around the world to see if they wanted to participate in this study. And the goal was to have um, participants from all around the world. So,
Wow, kudos, amazing. So, and Dr. Bote is, of course, a STAR member.
yes.
So that is really, really cool. Wonderful. So, because STAR is always interested in bridging research with clinical practice, it already alludes to like why this might be really valuable for clinicians. But are there any particular limitations clinicians should be aware of, or any reason in particular that clinicians should consider using this measure as opposed to other measures of sexual satisfaction?
Well, it is very short. It's 5 items, so it's easy to give an individual like a, a client. So that's, I think, one of the main strengths is that it's so easy to use. As for the limit, like we don't know a lot of information about temporal stability of the GM6. We don't know really about that part. And I guess one of the main limit that comes from our article is that because we had to merge some gender identities and sexual orientation to force group comparison for sufficient power, some nuance were mostly masked. And the scope of the result were restricted. So there might be even more difference between groups than we know of, especially among subculture of gender and sexual minority.
Okay, thank
That's
you so
something
much.
to keep in mind.
Yes, thank you. We'll make sure that we put at the end of this video how to access the measure and how to access Dr. Paquette's paper. Where are you going to head with your research next? What's the next study you're looking into?
Well, right now I'm just starting my postdoc, so I'm still learning to work with Sam. But right now we're working on one of her study, an in-lab study among couples, which is very exciting. And right now my goal is to finish my postdoc and then find a job, become a professor.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, in our final minute, we'd love to do a lightning round. We like to do that at the end of every Star Burst video as a way to get to know you a little bit outside of just the professional work you're doing. So if you're game, I'm going to put a minute on the clock here, and I am going to throw a bunch of fun questions your way so that we can get to know you. All right, here we go. So, if you could meet someone else at a conference that you've never met before but really admire in our field, who might you hope to meet?
Emily Nagoski.
If you had not pursued psychology as a career, what career path would you have taken?
I would be a history teacher.
Hmm. And is there anything that you collect or have more of than anybody else?
Jane Austen books. I have multiple.
Is there a food that you love that other people don't necessarily like?
I don't think so. I have
Okay.
pretty much everything, so.
Okay. You're new to Vancouver. Is there anything about Vancouver that stands out so far, given that our next STAR conference is going to be in Vancouver in May? Is there anything where you'd say people should check this place out, whether it's a restaurant or a park or anything else?
I mean, it's so beautiful. Like you're just walking and then there's the mountain and like the water. Everywhere you look, there's a different view. So everything is really great and amazing. So just walking in Vancouver is worth it, according like for me.
Wonderful. And you are going to be at the May annual conference. Is that correct?
Yes.
Amazing. Dr. Paquette, I'm really, really thrilled that we were able to speak today and share your research that's come out. If anyone would like to get in touch with her, contact information is going to be put up on the final slide. If anyone else would like to be a part of STARburst to share your wisdom or new research you've been involved with, or if you'd like to recommend someone else that you think STAR members should know of who's a part of our organization, please reach out to me, Dr. Carolin Klein, at info@starnet.org. I would be thrilled to showcase you and your work. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure. Wishing you all a really good month. See you then. Take care.